Welcome back to a new video. So just like I did a couple videos ago, I combined a bunch of workouts in this one, and it was really, I think, every workout of this week. So you'll see me in different outfits, and essentially that's, different training days, since I don't typically change shirts until it's really hot in the summer during workouts. So you can kind of see what I did on different days as I go through and talk about just kind of how the week went in general, as well as just general things for next week, since this is one, I guess, now I'm a week out from the competition as of the recording of this video, but this was the last full week before obviously deloading and chilling out a little bit the week of the competition. But I'm pretty happy with how things went, especially with how the end of the week, the last heavy day, went not directly to plan. I mean, if everything went directly to plan, I would have hit the 130 snatch and wouldn't have missed 120 on the first attempt and would have had a 295 training total, but that just wasn't meant to be. And honestly, I'm pretty happy to have come back to make the 120 and then make 125 and even be confident to try the 130. And obviously very excited about hitting a clean jerk PR again pretty recently after the last one, which just kind of just shows that I'm in really good shape, and definitely better shape than I was before the last competition for both the snatch and the clean and jerk. Because the best clean and jerk I believe I did before the last competition might have been 154. I think I only cleaned 157 before the last one, so obviously, if I'm hitting lifetime PRs, that's obviously just good in general. But it bodes well for the peak for next week that I should be in pretty good condition to hopefully open closer to 160 than to the 157 or 158, and then be able to take that crack like I did at the end of the week at 165 again in competition. For the snatches, I think that I probably did too many heavy ones this week, and I think that impacted me towards the end, and I just haven't been as consistent with them as I would have liked, I guess, in theory. And I have some ideas about things I want to adjust in the week leading up, or in the last week leading up to the competition next Saturday. The one is to try to mimic the benefit that I get from power clean and push press in the clean and jerk with a snatch. So either doing a power snatch plus a snatch balance, or doing a full snatch plus a snatch balance. And the reason for that is to just get a rep of the actual lift and then get an extra overhead part of the lift. I don't know, I'm not going to go heavy with it or anything, but I don't know how beneficial it will be, but it'll be a nice little movement to do because it's not really that difficult, and it'll just give me some extra overhead work in general, which won't be the worst thing in general. But to hit a 290, it was 290. That's pretty dope. 290 is a really good training total, really high up there, and I'm pretty confident with the stability of all the positions. Obviously, I'm going to be a little wobbly as I always am, but I'm pretty happy with the end of the week. But as you'll see, some of these sessions I had some pretty crap days. I had one with a red Adidas shirt, I remember, where everything was just kind of just lifting like crap, and I really shouldn't have lifted that heavy. It was the day after hitting the push press PR, and I was just too fatigued on that day, and I was just being a knucklehead trying to lift too heavy. And it's just the kind of the risk you have when you do your own programming, I suppose, is that you're just going to be a complete buffoon, and there's no one there to tackle me to stop me from being an absolute idiot. Here is 2 attempts, one at 130 and 131. I was pretty confident in the attempts of those, not necessarily after the first one, but I was at least happy that I got up to 125 and was confident enough to try the 130 in the middle of the week here. But this is a session where I hit the 133 push press, and after I do the 130 push press, I attempted 137 2 times and power cleaned it twice, but wasn't able to push press, and I actually missed the first 133 that I tried to power clean and push press on the push press. But my power cleans have been feeling really good, which is really interesting, because usually anything above 130 usually feels tremendously difficult, but I think that just goes to show that I'm just in generally good condition. I think the last video was of me doing the back squat at the beginning of the week. It was the Sunday workout, so I do have that tomorrow after this heavy day. It will be the last, I guess, back squat probably until the competition, unless I do something light during the week. But I'll probably go decently heavy tomorrow. And I think it was actually kind of interesting to do that heavy when I did 228, and then I did the sets of three after. I felt like that was really interesting, and it's interesting to do that much volume and then have a good week at the end of the week. So I may try to mimic that same workout, depending on how I'm feeling. Between 220 230 would be really nice for the back squat, and then drop down sets, whatever I feel like doing. But then that will kind of fatigue me enough through the week to obviously, I'll be fresh for the Saturday competition, but I'm not going to have, nothing there, like no volume at all. So I think that doing some will probably be beneficial. And I don't know. I'm just trying to think of different things that I want to make sure I do during the week. I mentioned the snatch and complex that I want to do. Mostly just want to not be an idiot, which is going to be pretty difficult. But essentially, the Sunday I kind of mentioned like it'll be a heavy back squat focused day, and then whatever else I feel like doing. And Monday will be just regular snatch and clean jerk, relatively light. Tuesday, probably a front squat of some sort, maybe light snatch and clean and jerk. Wednesday being the last snatch and clean and jerk day prior to comp, or at least one that goes relatively heavy. I think potentially up to 120 in the snatch, and then at the most like 153 in the clean and jerk. Certainly nothing more than that, but that would really just be how I feel on that day. Ideally, I would do probably 120, 153 on that Wednesday, and then do probably like nothing on Thursday and Friday. And I haven't decided yet if I want to take a day off of school on that Friday. I'm kind of back and forth. I might just go just because I don't, kind of, kind of on a different tangent there. I kind of want to get as many days of being a phys ed teacher as I can, because I did request to move over to being a special ed teacher because of all the instability in our district for the schedule for next year, and it being a more potential stable thing to be in special education again, because I would hopefully be able to be at a location that I want, but that is certainly up in the air at this point. But there is a lot of question marks in school, but the only thing I know for sure is obviously there's still the rest of the school year, and I really like the team that I teach with and the school as it exists right now, and I kind of want to spend as many days in there as I can, because next year is going to be tremendously different, and it could be different in a lot of different ways. But yeah, I'm just watching the and after that missed snatch there, to kind of jump back into that workout, I just stopped training that day, which is a piece of advice I could give to everyone. If you're having a really bad day of training and you feel bad and like you're just banging your head against a weight that you probably shouldn't be touching on that day, some of the best things to do is literally just leave and just stop training. And that's one of the nice things with training at the house, is that decision isn't as consequential. I'm not, driving 30 minutes after making that decision. I'm just walking back into the house. So that was probably the smartest thing I did on that day, because everything else was pretty dumb. But I came back the next day and felt tremendously better, and so I lifted a lot better. I believe I did the 120 I did on Saturday, I think was like the best one I've done in a very long time, as far as like where I caught and stuff. And I think if I can open between 120 123, it's obviously ideal, and just where I want to be. But I definitely want to do 120 in the back, and then kind of assess that, either repeat it out there as my opener, or just you see, I was certainly excited about that. And then missed 125 and then made it, but it was pretty pressed out. And then I missed it two more times because I was hoping to do it twice, but it is what it is. I wasn't super recovered, more recovered than the previous day, but not in peak shape, because still training during the week. But as far as school stuff for next year, I suppose I'll kind of have general updates as I go forward. I know I don't talk too much about the specifics of what goes on at school, but with my job being probably different next year, it will certainly have an impact, probably more so next school year when that starts, less in the summer and stuff. But a lot of change in the district, and not a lot that any of us teachers have control over, and it's about as specific into it as I'll get with that. But thankfully, despite all that insecurity and stress related to that, the job is still enjoyable, and it's something that I don't dread going to. I think that's maybe it's a negative way of thinking about it, but I think for most people, you have your passion, you have your thing that's like, if I could do this all day, it'd be great. And then you have the thing that you like to do, but you don't necessarily want to do every single day all the time. And I think that's true of even things that you enjoy. Like there's sometimes when I lift, I'm not like super excited. Like the days where I'm super fatigued, like I'm not like freaking out. Like I'm so excited to be training today when everything hurts and everything is sore. But you do those days so you can get to the days that are like this one when you get the singlet on and everything's feeling really good. And big thing I'm seeing in a lot of these snatches is that I'm early, but as the school year gets to an end, the summer should be a fun time to train because I'm in good shape. I haven't had any big injuries or anything. That's been perhaps the best part of this preparation period is I haven't had any tweaks or injuries or anything like that. Just kind of normal aches and pains. But I remember during the last prep, obviously I was dealing with the hip thing from last summer, so I was still trying to get back from that, which is something I think limited my clean and jerks and training quite a bit, and really just my squats in general. And I also remember having a calf strain like 2 weeks out. It ended up not really impacting me on the competition day. It just kind of forced me to modify some of my training sessions, and I actually did it on a back squat of all things. It was on a double. I forget what the weight was, but it was like between 200 and maybe 210, somewhere around there. But I remember doing the first rep, and I felt my calf start to kind of cramp up, and I did either another rep or another 2 reps, and it didn't really get strained, but it was just really sore. So I guess it probably was some sort of strain, but certainly not something you want to have to deal with 2 weeks or a week out of competition. And I think I mentioned this in other videos, but as you see, I'm going from 73 to 103, just adding those 3 kilos onto each of my normal jumps because I want my last warm up to 153 and then make the decision either 158 or 160, somewhere around there for my opening clean jerk, and then hopefully hit 165 on the second and then take whatever I want on the third. Usually clean jerks I kind of plan on 2, and then if I get a third, then it's really nice because you can take whatever you want on it, but I kind of plan on hitting 2 good ones and then the third one just being a bonus one. But my jerks on this day felt tremendous. My timing felt really good. My balance felt really good. The cleans felt pretty decent as well. But I'm just like there. 143 felt good. Also, I know this is probably the end of the video, but obviously you probably haven't noticed the weight captions. So the compromise I made to get this video edited a little bit faster is to just not have that, because it doesn't take a ton of time to do it, but when you have as many clips like I do in this video, it would take quite a bit of time, and I'd rather just have it be more timely to the day of actual training, at least as much as I could. I know I have a bunch of old clips from the previous week, but here is the 160. Caught the bounce there, which I was excited about because I didn't on the 153, and then that jerk felt really good. So hopefully that could be my opener there, and I know I'll have more on competition day because I always get more hyped up for the competition day. Then the 165 here, caught it on the bounce, and there, and I'm kind of try to utilize my breath to, I don't know if like getting the bar to bounce around like that is actually helping my jerk, or if it's just like mentally helping. But I feel like, when I catch my breath there and I'm kind of just like, all right, the bar's, moving around, it's time to go. Not necessarily trying to like count or try to be like Ilya with it, but just trying to, get that breath to get tight and then not letting the bar entirely settle and just going. So I think even if I'm using the oscillation, I feel like it's probably helpful to do it when it's actually oscillating, of course. But the bigger benefit of doing that breath and then just wanting to go quicker is the bar's just not sitting on my clavicle and that front rack for too long. But anywho, that's the end of this video. I'm gonna hopefully stay up to date with editing because there's not going to be that many workouts this week, and then next Saturday, because this will come out on Sunday, so the following Saturday will be the competition day, and honestly I'm pretty excited for it. I feel really good, and hopefully I can hit some good numbers at it. Just gotta try to get as recovered as I can before that date. And last thing, my body weight was like 239 this morning, so I'm kind of thick right now too, which is probably helping the clean jerks. But kind of want to maintain that as well during the week. But anywho, that's it for this one. I'll talk to you all in the next video, and I hope you have a great day. Peace.